All right, so we're gonna go with these shells. I need 8 of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I need 4 of these pink ones. I really like these colors. Oops, I need you. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to put the purple on the purple. And these pieces have, I don't know if you can see this, a little hole down here. And in the pictures, it shows that those holes are on the bottom. I'm sure it'll make sense when it's all put together. And my fingers don't want to work right. It doesn't take very much for these purple shells to go onto these purple buttons. So when you push them on there, you are wondering if they're really on there or not. So if they fall off, we'll find out. Okay. Whoops. And as you can tell, this piece, and it might just be me, it's kind of hard to hang on to because there's so many little pieces and they move. So you're trying to keep everything kind of lined up, kind of straight. Okay, now we're gonna go with these pink ones. We're gonna go up here, whoops. And these are a little slippery. So these would probably be good to wear blue gloves, but I'm not going to tell my husband that. Okay, for some reason, okay, I see what I got to do. I got to move this a little bit in order for that. And they show it where these all kind of line up. So I'm going to try to get them to line up a little bit better than when I have them. And I will probably move them all around as I keep flipping this back and forth. As long as it doesn't come apart, we're all good. Okay, now I'm going to get 8 more of the purple. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we get 4 more of the pink. Oops. Push all that together. And now I'm down here. Basically, we're going to kind of just keep going. Now they have it where you're going to do a how do they have this? Okay. Then they have a purple, purple, pink. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta think about how they're doing these instructions. And I put this one in upside down, so we'll fix him right away. On these flowers, Lego is really good at, you know, making their pieces stand out. Like they'll have the red around them or an outline that's pink. But when you start getting all these colors in here, it's harder to tell where you're putting on the new pieces. So you might have to just have some patience and kind of look and going, okay, was that something I did before? Did I do it? And I'm noticing that I put some of these pieces on upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and fix those now. Because that's what will happen is I will forget that they're on upside down until I actually have it all put together, and then I'm like, well, what's wrong? It doesn't look right. And then I'll be racking my brain as I go through the books piece by piece and sometimes I end up just taking it apart and starting all over, and then that's when I figure out, oh, it was just one piece that was out of place. That's always fun. That's when you really learn patience. But good thing I don't have to do that very often. If you've noticed, I can be a chatterbox. Sometimes it's a nice little gift. Sometimes it can be a little curse. Because I can go on and on about anything. I can bore you to death. But I'll try not to do that. And if I do, my husband will just put some nice background music or something that doesn't have a copyright. And then we'll just keep going. All right, well, we got one done. And it looks like we should have been building 2 the whole time. But that's okay. I'm gonna finish one and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna take one of the long sticks, put it in the bottom. I'm gonna lay that down. I'm gonna grab one of these. The red, then a green, then a red, and then a green. Okay, and that makes for a very long flower. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it right there right now. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the beginning and we're going to make it again. I think that I was too excited about making this video that kind of overlooked this little part, but at least I kind of know what I'm doing now, or I'm just going to pretend that I know what I'm doing. But I can see where some people, and I've done this with other sets, that if the flower I feel is a little too complicated, I will build one all the way through. That way I can learn all my mistakes from that one instead of doubling it as I go through. Just one of those things where whatever your preference is. And we have 8 of the faucets. And I don't know if I'm calling these pieces by the correct terms, so please don't put it in the comments. Everybody calls everything different. I'm not claiming to be a professional. Let's see. I only do this for a hobby, which I really like. I try to do this while I listen to audiobooks from the library. Our library, basically, if you have a library card, you just get on their app, and you can, through the app, you can actually read books. You can actually listen to books. You can put books on hold. You can ask them to borrow books from other libraries. So it's actually kind of cool. I used to buy a lot of books from Barnes and Nobles on audio, and then somebody told me about the library app, which is free. So, and I was like, oh, you can't beat free. Sometimes you just have to wait a little bit for a book. But the app that I have, which is called Libby, it will let you know if, like, a book that you have on hold or that you reserved, if somebody returns it early, they will let you know and tell you, hey, this book is here early. Do you want it now, or do you want to pass it on to the next person? Normally, I want to go ahead and read it now. There has been times where I've been listening to an audiobook that maybe is like 16 hours long, and another audiobook comes into play and it's maybe 5 hours long, I might go ahead and go ahead and take that 5-hour one, listen to that real quick, and then go back to the other one. And then there's times where if I'm listening to a 16-hour book and I'm really into it, and another book that I've had on hold comes in, then what I will do is I will actually, it's called manage my hold, and say, give it to the next person, and then like request it to be sent to you like after 7 days, 12 days. 14 days is the normal for having a book. But what happens is on the longer books, if you're actually listening to it and then all of a sudden, something happens where, say you can't listen to it for a couple days, your 14 days is coming due, you can actually extend your hold, which is or you can actually extend borrowing the book. So, and it'll ask you, do you want to extend it for a day, 2 days, 4 days? So that is not really a big deal. So like I said, if you get into a crunch where you're listening to something and you just can't get back to it, then you can do that. I've also done that where I've been listening to a book and I was out in the garden and listening to the book, and then my husband's out there and he's trying to talk to me and everything else, and I'm pausing the book and starting the book and pausing the book. And then what I'll do is I will just not listen to the book and kind of listen to music. That way if he interrupts the music, he's not interrupting the story that I'm trying to listen to. All right, and I'm going on, and I did that one wrong. I missed a piece. Missed this piece. Sometimes I can do multitasking and sometimes I can't. But I get excited when I talk about the books. Because if I would have known about the free library thing a while ago, I probably would have saved a lot of money. Okay, so now we have these 4 things and we're going to put them here. And did I do that last time? Yeah, I did. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Need a drink of tea. Oh, that is really good. All right, so now we have that piece. Okay, now this is the one that kind of messed us up, or messed me up. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these. Need 6 of these green buttons. Okay, he just wants to come over here, so 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to get these going on here. Rod. I'm going to stick this little rod down the middle. I'm going to put 2 more buttons on. There. And sometimes you just got to manhandle those little buttons. And other times they're really easy. Okay, that's the step that kind of messed us up last time. Now we're going to put on our cone. Find it. Okay, now we're going to be over on this side. So we're going to get our 8 little, I don't know if you want to call them duck beaks or duck feet or whatever you want to call them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 8. So then 8. Whoop, I got some pieces that want to roll away. Snap those in. If you hear some humming in the background, I do apologize. That is my Mr. Cool system. It's like a mini split system that I have down here in my basement, just to kind of help keep it extra warm. That's a whole nother subject I can talk to you about, but I'll save it for a later date. Okay, so now we're going to pick the 8 purples. And I've got some little round rollers that just want to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 green buttons. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. All right, this is where we go, where the purple is on top of the green. Okay, purple on top of green. I can't wait to do this flower here and that one there. I think those are pretty. Okay, so we have those. We're going to put those and why did I, okay, so I put these green buttons on the wrong ones. They're supposed to go up on the top. I always like when I catch things early. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, turn you around. Where'd you go? Okay. Now the purple ones go on the bottom. Seems like the second one's going faster, but then kind of does, kind of not, because I've had to take off some pieces and move them around. But my fingers are already getting indented from all the little pieces. And we're going to do more little pieces. So now we're going to use these 12 rolly ones. Ones that want to keep rolling off this table. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to go with 12 green things, green buttons. There, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What I have noticed about this set, and I've noticed about their flowers, is that like this pile over here, these are all little extras. And because they're so small, I'm glad that they give extras, because I'm sure if you drop a couple pieces, especially like the little flowers, they would be hard to find. Sometimes I'll drop a piece and I will look and look and look, and then I have a tote that has just like extra little pieces from other sets, and I'll go in there and I'll find it and everything else. And then I'll get moving on, and next thing you know, I'll look on the floor and I'll be like, it's right there. I know I looked right there and it wasn't there before. So I always call it like the little gremlins. Put it right back, you know, where I just looked. And then I just kind of laugh about it and pick it up and put it in the tote that I have, or the divider, instead of taking apart whatever I put together.